The neon lights of Sonny's pit stop flickered against the midnight haze, casting long shadows across the empty parking lot. Inside, the hum of the refrigerators and the occasional ding of the doorbell were the only sounds breaking the silence. Liam Carter wiped down the counter for the third time that hour, his mind drifting to the stack of unpaid bills waiting at home. He had taken this job hoping it would be temporary, but life had a way of stretching, just for now, into years. Then the bell chimed. A man in a worn leather jacket stepped inside, his movements steady but slow, as if carrying an invisible weight. Marcus Dawson, locals called him Ace, though no one quite remembered why. He nodded at Liam, his eyes sharp despite the fatigue lining his face. "Just coffee, black," he said, sliding a crumpled 5 across the counter. Liam poured the steaming brew, catching the faint tremor in Marcus's hands. Veterans didn't talk much around here, but their silence spoke volumes. The door slammed open again, this time with a force that made the windows rattle. Troy Ratcliffe swaggered in, reeking of cheap beer and arrogance. His gaze locked onto Marcus, and a smirk twisted his lips. Well, if it ain't the war hero," he sneered, leaning too close. Still limping around for sympathy, the air thickened. Liam's grip tightened around the coffee pot. He knew what came next. Troy always pushed until someone broke. But tonight something was different. Tonight the universe held its breath, because in just 5 minutes everything would change, starting with a single punch. The coffee pot trembled in Liam's hand as Troy's taunt hung in the air like smoke. Marcus didn't flinch, just took a slow sip, his knuckles whitening around the cup. "You're drunk, Troy," Liam said, stepping between them. "Leave him alone." Troy's laugh was sharp, grating. "What's it to you, pump jockey? This cripple's not gonna tip you." Marcus set his cup down with deliberate calm, but Liam saw the storm behind his eyes, the kind that brewed in men who'd faced worse than small-town bullies. Troy shoved Marcus's shoulder, sending him stumbling into a rack of snacks. Chips and candy bars scattered like fallen soldiers. Something in Liam snapped. He grabbed Troy's arm, twisting him around. "Get out," he growled. Troy swung wild, but Liam ducked, his fist connecting with Troy's jaw in a crack that echoed off the fluorescent lights. Troy staggered back, clutching his face, disbelief twisting into rage. "You're dead, Carter," he spat, but the bell above the door cut him off. Mr. Jenkins stood frozen, keys in hand, taking in the wreckage. His face darkened. "Liam, my office now." Dismissal was swift, merciless. "You can't hit customers," Jenkins hissed, shoving a final paycheck across the desk. "Even ones like Troy." Liam opened his mouth. What about Marcus? What about decency? But the old man looked away. "Take this and go." Outside, the night air bit Liam's skin. Marcus stood by his truck, silent. No thank you, no apology. Just a long look before he drove off, leaving Liam alone under the buzzing streetlight, wondering if doing the right thing was always this costly. The walk home felt longer with every step. Liam's duffel bag held everything from his locker, a spare shirt, a dog-eared copy of the Odyssey, and now his last paycheck. He kicked a pebble, replaying the moment his fist met Troy's face. Worth it, maybe, but rent was due Friday. His phone buzzed, a text from his sister. "You okay?" He thumbed fine but didn't send it. The lie stuck in his throat. Across town, Troy nursed his jaw at the bar, spinning the story to his buddies. "Carter's got a hero complex," he slurred, grinning when they laughed. But his smile faded when a stranger in a corner booth watched him too long, too quiet. Meanwhile, Marcus parked outside a nondescript building, punching a code into his phone. The screen flashed, verification complete. He exhaled, staring at the gas station's security footage now saved to his cloud. It wasn't just about Liam. Troy had been skimming donations from the VFW for months. Marcus just needed proof. Liam's apartment was dark when he arrived. He flicked the switch, nothing. Power cut. He sank onto the couch, head in hands. The fridge hummed back on, suddenly the bulb flickering to life. A coincidence. Except outside, a shadow moved near the dumpster. Not Troy, someone taller, watching. Dawn bled pink over the rooftops when the sound tore through town, a thunderclap from a cloudless sky. Liam bolted upright as windows rattled. He stumbled outside just as the fighter jet screamed past, so low he could see the pilot's helmet. Neighbors spilled into the street, phones raised. "That's an F-35, a kid shouted. Then came the SUVs, black and sleek, rolling to a stop outside Sonny's pit stop. Doors opened. Boots hit pavement. And there, in dress blues, stood Marcus. Liam's breath caught. This wasn't the tired veteran from last night. This man wore rank like a second skin. "Lieutenant Colonel Dawson," a sergeant announced, as if the medals on Marcus's chest didn't already scream it. Troy, stumbling out of the diner across the street, paled. Marcus didn't glance his way. He strode straight to Liam. "You stood up for me," he said quietly. "Now it's my turn." The soldiers moved with precision, corralling Troy as Marcus addressed the crowd. "This man's been stealing from veterans." He nodded to a sergeant, who projected footage onto the gas station wall, Troy skimming cash from a donation jar, bragging about it later at the bar. The town's murmurs turned to fury. Troy's protests died when cuffs clicked around his wrists. Mr. Jenkins pushed forward, wringing his hands. "Liam, Marcus cut him off with a look. "You fired the only decent man here." Jenkins swallowed hard. "Come back," he blurted to Liam. "Double shifts, manager pay." The crowd held its breath. Liam eyed the jet idling on the county road, then Marcus's outstretched hand. In it a card, VA Accelerated Trades Program, Mechanics Track. "Your choice," Marcus said. The courthouse steps were packed for Troy's hearing. Liam sat beside Marcus, watching as charge after charge flashed on the screen: fraud, stolen valor, assault. Troy's smirk finally cracked when the judge denied bail. "Next case," the gavel banged. Outside, reporters swarmed, but Marcus steered Liam away. "They'll spin it," he muttered. "Let's get coffee." At Sonny's pit stop, the regulars clapped when Liam walked in. Jenkins shoved a wad of cash across the counter: "Back pay." "I'm an idiot," he admitted. Liam pocketed it, but his eyes kept drifting to the VA card in his wallet. Marcus sipped his coffee. "You'd be good at it," he said, as if reading Liam's mind. "Fixing things, no drama." That night, Liam spread the paperwork across his kitchen table. The mechanic program started next month. Stable hours, benefits, a future. He traced the embossed eagle on the VA logo, thinking of the jet, the soldiers, the way Marcus had looked at him, like he was worth more than a name tag and a broken mop bucket. Word spread fast. By Sunday, the VFW hall was packed, locals stuffing the donation jar to the brim. Liam's sister hugged him tight. "Proud of you," she whispered. Even the high school shop teacher offered him part-time work. "For practice," he winked. Marcus stopped by the gas station one last time before his redeployment. No uniform now, just a duffel and a tired smile. "You'll keep an eye on things," Liam nodded. They shook hands, then pulled into a quick, rough hug. "Ace," Liam ventured. "Why'd they call you that?" Marcus grinned. "Long story, tell you when I'm back." The bell chimed as new customers filed in. Liam adjusted his manager's shirt, the weight of the keys in his pocket solid, real. Outside, a kid pointed at the sky, whispering about jets. Some say kindness is its own reward. But sometimes, rare, bright times, it comes back with wings. Liam learned that in the span of a single night, between a punch thrown and a sunrise stained with jet fuel. Maybe heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear gas station polos. Sometimes they're quiet men who buy black coffee and carry justice in their silence. And if you listen close on still nights in that little town, you might hear it, the distant roar of an engine, a reminder that good deeds never truly land. They just circle, waiting for the next soul brave enough to look up. Like this story, share it. Someone out there needs to hear it.